All right, my dears, I am back for another spontaneous, unwritten, improvisational lesson on the nature of sound, music, the guitar, and etc. And today, I'm going into these things not really knowing what I'm going to talk about, but y'all could let me know what you want me to talk about, and then I can talk about that, right? Right now I'm talking about chromatic movement and trying to feel rhythm in chromaticism, right? And I'm feeling it around B, right? I'm feeling B is the end. I want to keep going. B, 2, 3, 4, a 2, 2, 3, 4, a 3, 2, 3, 4, a 4, 2, 3, and a B. Now, in a previous lesson, I had been talking about finding a note, such as B, and relating everything to it sort of chromatically on a neighboring string, and adjacent or minus adjacent string, right? And I'm doing this with different strings, maybe not necessarily adjacent, right? And here I'm relating everything to that B on top. Of course, it could be this B, and I could do it other ways, right? But the big idea here is to have a reference pitch, potentially the tonal center, but not necessarily, but having a reference pitch and being aware of all the sonic relationships around it. And ideally, we can identify what they are and get a sense of the feeling tone of such things. Well, now I'd like to sort of slim down that idea. Instead of exploring every pitch, let's just stick with the minor pentatonic in this case. Right? Or one more time. Right, I'm going 1, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 7, 1. Or with the B on top. Down here. Try it one more time. We've heard that, right? Right, so I'm picking a particular note, in this case B, and I'm cognizing every pentatonic relationship in relation to that B, right? The flat 3, the 4, the 5, the flat 7, and the octave. Notice you can play the whole thing. Even I add the open B string. Oopsie. Y'all hear that little buzz? That little... drives me crazy. So this is a good one to do, right? Our familiarity with the pentatonic, it helps our rock and roll playing be more real, okay? It helps our rock and roll playing be more real. Gotta say it again. If you can't be, doing your simple minor pentatonic riffs every which way, we got to be able to play our minor pentatonic jams, right? What am I trying to play? These these pentatonic things, you got to be able to play them every which way, all over the place, okay? And it'll really help you out if all you're really dealing with are, 3-chord songs, 4-chord songs, or, stuff that isn't moving a lot. When you can lock in the pentatonic relationship to whatever you're dealing with, the neck just becomes a little bit of a bit of a playground, okay? So our pentatonic is so important. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this to C. And something I'd like you to try to do, right, is find your C, or A C rather, and build your minor pentatonic in relation to that C, right? See if you can sustain the C, right? Next octave. Whoopsie. Tricky. Two octaves there, right? So in addition to the minor pentatonic, you'll want to do this with the major pentatonic as well, right? So that'd be the major third, the fifth, the sixth, and the root. Am I missing something? I am. I missed the major second. Let's add that. There it is. 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. 1, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1. Octave higher. Knowing where your tonic is, or your one, and building the scale around that. And in this case, the major and or minor pentatonic, right? Remember, the guitar itself is tuned pentatonically. What I mean is if we take the open strings of the guitar, E, A, D, G, and B, and put them in a particular order, right, it'll produce a pentatonic scale, the E minor pentatonic scale, this guy, E, G, A, B, D. Or we could say the G major pentatonic scale, right? Notice there's a G chord just in the tuning of the guitar, as there is also an E minor chord in the tuning of the guitar, handy dandy. So we should be aware of that, right? To understand and to be able to play the pentatonic scale is, a great thing to do regardless of what instrument you play. But as guitarists, it's particularly important because this instrument is tuned. The open strings are tuned to a pentatonic scale, believe it or not, right? A pentatonic scale separated in fourths, right? So it does us well to learn that pentatonic inside and out, backwards, forwards, upside down, downside out, right side left, and left side right, every which way you can. Oh, and that's one way to do it, is have your reference pitch and relate everything to it, okay? Okay, so that's great. Now what else? What else can we do? I've mentioned this in previous lessons, I believe, but noticing that this scale, the pentatonic scale, major and minor, it lends itself to 2 notes per string. So you can also grab these pentatonic diads, right? Right, instead of ba ba ba, I'm skipping the D and going to the next note and grabbing them as a single thing, a major third in this case, but a dyad. So grabbing your neighbor, right? Maybe on the next string. And we're essentially just harmonizing the pentatonic scale at this point, exploring different distances between the notes, right? Oh, I guess, now I'm going to play just improvising in C minor pentatonic, right? This is all minor pentatonic, right? We want to... I added a blue note already. I'll try not to do that. As guitarists, you know you've done well when you can comfortably hang out in minor pentatonic. I went to F. Back to C. Minor pentatonic. No blue note or anything. Found myself in a minor blues. Now this time, I'll add a blue note, right? The sharp 4 or the flat 5. Still. Now, I got that blue note. I'm going to add major thirds as well. Now I don't really want to talk about it, but I'm sort of going automaton here. Now I've said it before, one of the reasons we want to familiarize ourselves with scales in relation to a tonic pitch or a single pitch is it allows us to create more harmonically rich lines, yes, and just clusters of tone. When we can grab two notes confidently, we got more weight. Two notes. As opposed to one note's great. I like one note. One note's good times, but two notes gets that. It's a little angry. Two notes. 3, 1. Thinking about the density of what you're bringing to the space. Single notes. Two notes. One note. Long tone. It's almost time for me to go. It's been about 13 minutes here of talking about the pentatonic, minor pentatonic. Just trying to feel it, right? So remember, try to relate the scale to a single note. Right, I'm keeping that C on top. Helps you know where you are. Feels good. Goodbye for now, my friends. See you later.